Welcome to my awesome health journey. I'm, of course, Brett Dupree. Wow, it does the reverse thing. Anyways, I just decided to talk a little bit about my being Spotlight Member of the Month for Orange Theory. Mostly because I like talking about my story, and it's nice to put a nice little emphasis and a lot of my thoughts on this, especially since, April 2022. It's almost my fourth year anniversary at Orange Theory, not that long ago. I like to make like a 20-minute video every time I do make a year video. Just stuff type of thing just keeps me on track, and maybe I inspire someone to move, so that's why I do it. So I've done 622 classes so far. 12-minute tread, that is my favorite benchmark. The reason why that's my favorite benchmark is it's consistent. I know what it is, and I think it's a really good way of showing me how far I've come. Um, I like I use data a lot in my Orange Theory journey to be able to continue to keep motivated because it's very hard. But let's continue with the slide. Um, One fun fact about me, this is what I chose. This is the reason why my Instagram is called Joyous Expansion, and my YouTube is also called Joyous Expansion. Where I put these on is because I was working on being a life coach, and that was the name of my company, Joyous Expansion. I wrote that book. As you can see the title, if you want a copy, I have plenty. I need to get rid of them, and technically I can't sell them anymore because I'm not trying to be a life coach, and I let my business license part run out. So yeah, plenty, I have plenty. What brought me to Orange Theory? Yeah, it was the day I was at my kitchen. I reached for something and I threw out my back. Um, and it hurt. And it took like 2 months. I threw out my back a decent lot. I think the first time I threw out my back was in college when I was running for the bus and my foot went into a puddle. And that threw out my back and that hurt for so long. Felt like my body was going to split in two every time I stood up, and that went away after a while. And ever since then, I throw out my back every once in a blue moon, but it just generally lasts at most a day, maybe 2 days, or maybe three, but generally it goes away. This time it lasted like 2 months, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And when I finally went away, I really should have went to the doctor, but they're just gonna tell me to lose weight, and that's not very helpful. But um, heard from my old boss, Terry Verdell, who kept on bringing Orange Theory because he went, he liked it, he lost a lot of weight. And also, every time I was just walking to my car, which is about 100 feet from my house, and buckling on my seatbelt, I would get winded, like literally winded, like I just ran a mile. And it was just, I had to do something. I wasn't able to work out on my own. Plus, this was COVID times, and I started working from home, and I was kind of missing seeing people. So I thought to myself, I get to see people, I get to work out. Maybe something will come from this. Um, was a very interesting question for me, which is what is your why? I really wanted it to be something cool. I'm a man in my upper 40s. I don't have a family, so I can't say something cool like I want kids and have grandkids someday and say those meaningful things. But to be honest, I want to live. COVID really noticed that, I wasn't that. I probably would be dead by now if I didn't go to Orange Theory and get in better shape. I probably would have had a heart attack, or if I had COVID, I probably would have died. My lungs were very weak, and my quality of life was awful just walking. And I understand people are like, "Ooh, to work out is hard, and to um, not work out, being out of shape is hard. Choose your hard." But like, I think hard is different because effort is hard, or at least it is for me. And for me, it was easier to stay out of shape than it was, but it just sucked. Um, I guess working out sucks, and not being fat and out of shape sucks. Choose your suck. That would have made more sense. That saying would have made more sense for me for that one. But I do want to do things someday. I do want to go into an airplane seat and be able to just buckle the seatbelt and be comfortable. I like to go to a concert and sit in the chair without worrying about having to sit in the chair. Um, Being able, I bought a couch, and like the indent where I sit is practically destroyed. I want to be able to buy a new couch and not worry about destroying my couch. you know, those are my whys. It doesn't feel like big and full of love and family and all those fun things, but it does mean basic quality of life. And I think basic quality of life is important. And for the people who care about me being alive and better also helps them as well. So I'll say I'm working out to not be selfish because other people care about me. My biggest accomplishment since becoming a member, this was also really hard to pick. Heck, I jumped yesterday. That was amazing. I never thought I would jump. Um, I remember once when I crossed the street and there was a car coming, I kind of jogged. Was something I couldn't even try before I joined Orange Theory. So sometimes I'll put my fingers like this. Generally, it's like this. Then I get three fingers and it's four between my stomach and the steering wheel because it used to rub the entire time and that just feels good. Being able to take over 20 classes in a month, that was a lot because taking 8 used to destroy my body. I used to feel like dead after going to Orange Theory, and now I can work out 20 times in a month and not even think about it. In fact, I remember the first time I hit 5 works out in a week, I was so proud of myself. Now that's just something I just do. I think that's the fun part about going to Orange Theory and working out. Like all these big accomplishments that I have are normal now. Walking to a grocery store without using a cart as a walker. I don't even think about it. Walking 3 miles an hour for 28 minutes, my hamstring hurts. That's my goal with a hurt hamstring. Not being pushed my best. Something I was proud of, now something I'm a little disappointed in because I really want to be pushing myself harder. Uh, and I think that's the fun part about this is just hitting those milestones, hitting those accomplishments, and then getting to the point where those things that were big and just felt good just becomes normal. And just looking back about how proud I was to do this thing that I now do normally, it's just that makes me feel really good. So I do think, um, yeah, I do think just looking at your past and how you are now is important. Yeah, I used to be afraid of falling down because I couldn't get up without bracing on something. And the day I did fall down, I went to put my hand on the door and I just fell because my hand slipped. And there was like nothing really to brace myself, maybe the wall, but I got up without it and it was like, man, number one, if anyone saw me, that was freaking embarrassing. So that is the advice I would give because that's how I started out. Was I was thinking to myself, if I continue this 3 months from now, how would I feel? Then look 6 months, then look a year, and it's really hard to look past a year, but it's easier to look at 3 months, and it's easier to look at 6 months, and once you do that, it's easier to look at a year. But I look at 10 years. But I also think it's important to have a long-term focus. I couldn't write everything I'd want to write because one of my things that helped me was having this idea fit to 50. So I would think long term as well. But my main thing was like, look at me 3, look at me 6, look at me 10, and then looking back, um, and thinking to myself, you know, there I was 3 months ago, there I was 6 months ago, and look how much I've accomplished. So looking forward and back has helped me. Plus, making it a priority no matter what that I go. It's just habit now. It's not something I decide. It's just part of my daily life. And since I've done that, making is easier. I tell myself I don't want to go as I'm putting on my clothes and leaving the door. It's a priority because it's just something I have to do, not something I want to do, not something I care about doing. I care about doing, and that's why I made it this way. But it's like I don't I have to make it a one of my main priorities in life because it just really helps with my quality of life. They gave this really nice note from us. I really appreciate the staff at Orange Theory. They've been very helpful and supportive of me and kind words. They're always there with the words of encouragement. They're always there to celebrate my wins with me, and they're genuine about it. They generally they do, at least they feel like they generally care. I assume they do. They don't seem like fake people, but they all seem to generally care about the people. They're in it because they want to make money. We're in a capitalist society, and you can't survive unless you make money. But at the same time, they're doing something that they at least find enjoyment in seeing people improve their lives, and because it's fun. I mean, heck, I make these videos on the off chance one person will improve their life because of that video, and it feels good to do that. And they get to do that every day when they see people like me come in, especially people who've been at Orange Theory since the beginning and saw me at the beginning and see me now, are able to just see the simple things I couldn't do, like bend. I didn't even bend in my workout, no side to side or down up ending. So yeah, my journey at Orange Theory has been awesome. I try to make these videos less than 10 minutes. We're hitting that part. So thank you for watching. Remember, I love you and you are worthy. Yeah.